everybody. Welcome back to another fantastic virtual tasting with us here at Becker Vineyards. We have quite the treat for everyone tonight. I'm really excited. We've got a lot of people to join us and to take you through some tasting, and we've got some fabulous entertainment along with that tonight. So everybody's got a great Friday evening started already. We're pouring tonight the 2015 Dolcetto Reserve from the Wilmeth Vineyard. And this is another one of our great library wines that we were able to pull out of the cellar and release again to everybody. So tonight we have both Dr. Richard and Dr. Joe Becker with us. We also have our winemaker, Jon Leahy. We also have one of our fabulous grape growers responsible for these grapes in this great bottle, Mr. Jet Wilmeth. And then as a fantastic, wonderful special treat tonight, we also have the Woodstreet Bloodhounds, this fantastic band out of Chicago joining us tonight. And they've got a little bit of a familiar connection with us here at Becker. Those of you who've been out in March and been to our Bluegrass, Blue Bonnets, and Barbecue Festival have seen them every year. And since we had to nix that this year, they've come on to give you guys a special treat. So I'm going to kick this over to everybody to get you guys started. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening. Cheers.
Cheers, Rebecca. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. And thank you to the band for leading us in with a little bit. We're doing the 15. I want everybody to swirl, sniff, and taste. And then the band's going to lead off this whole tasting with a song. So cheers, guys. Let's do a swirl, sniff, and taste. And then we're going to listen to some great bluegrass.
Yeah, White Freightliner. Key of A. This is a great tune by the wonderful Austin musician and composer Townes Van Zandt. It's called White Freightliner Blues. I'm going out on the highway, listen to the big trucks behind. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? Well, New Mexico ain't bad, people there, they treat you fine. New Mexico ain't bad, people there, they treat you fine. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? Well, it's bad news from Houston, half my friends they are dying. Bad news from Houston, half my friends they are dying. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? Get on it, son. Oh Lord, I'm gonna ramble till I get back to where I came. Lord, I'm gonna ramble till I get back to where I came. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my brain? On a dime.
That was awesome. Guys, thank you so much. So be prepared. I'm going to lob you some pretty hard questions about the wine and some food coming up.
We're ready.
So before we get going full bore, I want to switch it over to the Doctor's Becker. You guys will have to take your mute off, and if you'll lead us in with a couple of words, please.
I guess we're on now, but I think, this is the fourth month at least that we've been doing this. And this is all about maybe a few minutes of relief and retreat from the terrible pressure of this pandemic in our country. Now very heavily in Texas, San Antonio, Corpus Christi had as many cases as Florida city last yesterday. So this is we always want to make it clear that our hearts and our minds are with all the people fighting this. And this is 30 or 45 minutes of escape. And the bluegrass ought to make you well from many things. So it's going to be fun to hear and think about. Thank you.
I agree, Doc. I think bluegrass will cure just about anything that ails you. I want to get going. Also, take a moment to introduce Jet. Jet, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello. How are y'all?
Okay, Mr. Not Sarcastic. so Jet, would you tell everybody your side of the story? We've told the story about how the 2015 came into our possession. What's the actual reality? Who did you call and why?
Well, you always go to the top dog, you know, and that's Dr. Becker. So, I don't, no.
Okay, but you're glossing over quite a few details here, Mr. Wilmeth. When was the call made, and how soon before picking was that call made?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a likely story. So, Jet, the 2015, was that the first vintage of the Dolcetto or not? Was that the first pick?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've gotten this every vintage since. First of all, thanks for joining us. Can you give us your impression of the wine, and then talk a little bit about the grapes and how they are to farm?
So Dolcetto is the little sweet one, as we know, and the first time it was made into wine, and I was blown away by the drinkability all by itself.
Mm-hmm.
No food pairing needed. You know, a lot of the wines that I drink, I like to have some accentuation, the food pairings and important. But with Dolcetto, I find that you can just sit down with a bottle of Dolcetto and it can become your friend.
Hey guys, did you hear that? You need to open up another bottle so everybody can have a friend.
They can.
Well, Robert, actually, since you're there, what is your impression of the wine? And I'd like to get the band's impression as well.
You know, I just think it's got such an interesting nose, first of all, that I don't see in other grapes. And it's got that wonderful kind of leathery, currenty taste to it, and a wonderful finish. And I didn't look and see what the alcohol content is, but it's not hot. It's just really, as Jet says, it can be your friend very quickly.
Absolutely. So I don't know everybody's name. Would you all mind introducing yourself and then give your impression?
Sure, we'll introduce the band. I think that's a good thing to do. Jeff, I'm Bob. I can't say that's right. I'm Steve. That's right. No, anyway,
Brian, good to meet you.
It's an old joke. Sorry, guys. So everybody, go around and say hello. Jeff Bone.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Bone, and I think my impression of this is it's silky smooth. It's just amazing. I mean, it just goes down great. I represent the vegan and vegetarian side of pairings, so I'm gonna go with a great Korean vegan meal with this. Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
I'm Brian Buman. I'm the bass player of the group, and it has a very natural, organic flavor to it. For me, nothing goes better with this than a nice Italian beef from Johnny's Italian Beef.
Thank you very much. Johnny's is one of the most best places in the city of Chicago. Although it's actually in Elmwood Park, and I should have taken Joe Becker there when he's at the USC, but we just didn't make him. Sorry, man.
I'm Steve Avery. I'm playing the dobro here, and we forgot to mention that our nickname for Brian is Dolcetto because he's the little sweet one. But Katie and my wife and I, we tuned in on the other two tastings that you guys did with the Dolcetto, the 2018 and the 2017, and man, they're all wonderful. I mean, I think the 2018 was a little more fruit forward, but just after having a couple of sips, it's just really delicious, and this I can't say I have a favorite. I think if I was going to pair this with any Chicago food, I certainly am not going to name drop the Lou Malnati's deep dish pizza because we don't eat that stuff up here. That's for tourists.
Jeff, you read my mind.
Apologies. We'll send you guys a frozen pizza. So I do think I'd be interested. I mean, certainly we have this great Italian place called Mart Anthony, and I'd love to have this with some of their meat sauce, with a lasagna, or with maybe a little veal limon, like move away from the tomato a little bit too. I think it would work in both of them.
So y'all like Italian cooking. So what do you think? Would it go with an agrodolce sauce or not?
Gesundheit.
We'll get into that later.
We're show-offs, but we don't know nothing. You have to tell me more about that sauce.
We will. I want to get back to Doc and Joe. If you guys wouldn't mind giving us your impression of this 15. Now it's been in bottle for almost 5 years.
15 was such an interesting year. We had we had 3 double gold winners from that year. We had one of which came from Jet's Cab Vineyard, and it's interesting how this 15 has aged. It's what the 17 I think is moving towards. I think it has that nice kind of blackberry on the mid palate, and that sort of bittersweet finish that you get on the 17 is really smoothed out very nicely in the 15.
Doc?
I'm sorry, yes.
Well, are you happy with that?
Person, man, woman, TV. Oh God, I can't. I'm sorry. Next question.
Stop it. It was a picture of an elephant.
Actually, John, I have a question for you. And
yes, sir.
So so this is 2015. So you thinking, and it would never happen in my house, but if I actually was able to lay this up till 2025, I mean, is this going to, in your view, is this going to age?
I think so, and I'm willing to be wrong, but I think by 2025 it'll probably reach its peak. That's the length, the maximum length. I would say 10 years, but Dolcettos aren't made to age normally from the traditional standpoint. However, they do have enough tannin, enough structure on there. And Jet, we haven't forgotten about you. We want to throw it back to Jet. Jet, if you were going to have a dish at home, what would you pair with this?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti? Okay. Would that be Italian spaghetti or Midwest spaghetti?
Stop.
So, before we get going much further, do you think we could get the Bloodhounds to play another song before we go into the details on the wine?
I'll check the PayPal account and see if it's
okay.
But just what the heck?
Yeah, what the heck? Well, listen, I want everybody to take a few sips and enjoy it with some music. So take it away.
till some old day.
I've been working out in the rain, tied to a dirty ball and chain. Told her mother I'd come home some old day. Some sweet day they'll turn me loose from this dirty old calaboose. So dear mother, I come home some old day. Some old day. Wait for me and pray. Oh dear mother, I come home some old day. Some sweet day they'll turn me loose from this dirty old calaboose. Oh dear mother, I come home some old day. Oh dear mother, I've hurt you so, and I've been cruel to you, I know. Oh dear mother, I come home some old day. Tell my brother, my sister, and dad, they're the best friends that I had. Oh dear mother, I come home some old day. Some old day. Wait for me and pray. Ooh, oh dear mother, I come home some old day. Some sweet day they'll turn me loose from this dirty old calaboose. Oh dear mother, I come home some old day.
That was awesome. Exactly. Bravo.
Thank you.
So,
Tub. We needed some tub on that, brother.
Joe, it's funny.
Listen to Tub.
Yeah, funny you should say that, Robert, because there've been quite a few comments. I thought Doc was going to join us with the wash tub. So
It wasn't tuned. I tried to, it's typical.
No tuning. No tuning required. Go ahead.
It's complicated.
Just so you know, we did not actually hide it from Dr. Becker. We just put it away for a while.
It's at an undisclosed location.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's in an institution.
Do you mean you took his thimble away?
We did. We had to. We were afraid that he was going to quit his J job.
Can't afford it.
Doc, yeah, Doc, what would you pair with this wine, sir?
I think Jet Wilmeth is what I'd pair with it. I think, it's a Jet. Was this picked on St. Matthew's Day? Does Jet know about this, the importance that there's
Jet, you're not supposed to pick it before the 21st of September, right?
1593 ordinance that's the picking date for the little sweet one.
Okay, I'm marking it on my calendar now.
My interpretation of the Wilmeth is that there was they're Welsh. There was a Welsh priest that left around 1200 with several boats full of Welshmen were never seen again. And when the Lewis and Clark expedition was being prepared by Jefferson, he instructed them in some Welsh dialect, so that in case the Welsh had landed somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, maybe there'd still be some Welsh language characteristics. It's clear to me that only these Welsh people would name a city Tokyo in the middle of Texas, and I think they thought they were all the way to the far east. And And I'm sure that story is true. Jed, do you have any comments on that? Or
No.
Can I ask you you had a question?
Yes.
Please.
Jed, how did you decide to plant Dolcetto? Where did you get the idea for that?
So I was doing a little studying, and I saw where it was grown, the temperature and the terrain and the type of soil and what it had to deal with in the environment, the weather. And a lot of it kind of fit here. We're not too hot. And that's pretty much it. And then I decided to get crazy, and I planted a whole 10 acres of it without a soul to buy.
That is crazy. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and but when it just hit me that I liked the sound of it, I went around for a week just pronouncing it, and I was like, "That's just cool. I like that."
I still can't pronounce it. Yeah, that's good.
Well, no, there's a specific dialect up there in Tokyo.
I have a question. Does Jeff play? Do you play an instrument other than the John Deere?
No. Well, I did in my younger days. I used a bottom of a high-gel water bottle, a plastic one, and I was the percussion in a cellar, a dirt cellar, with a candle. And the other guys were very proficient with their instruments, the 12-string and the 6-string and such. And I was percussion. And they wouldn't let me stop playing, even as I went up the steps. Please keep just playing and playing.
We feel the same way about the tub, actually. We keep asking Richard to play solo. Solo, nobody can hear me.
Solo, okay.
Okay, well, Doc, that was a great way to avoid the question, but the ball's still in your court. What would you pair with this wine?
Oh gosh, well, I think any of the chicken pasta stuff like that. I'm not, I'm as Buddy used to say, Richard does nothing but uncork. So my food knowledge is
well. Joe, you wanna jump in?
Sure, and this is going to be just a little bit of a stretch, but I have to make a nod to Chicago, having gone to the University of Chicago there and gotten my culinary training from Uncle Robert and Aunt Karen, eating at all the most amazing restaurants, ethnic foods in Chicago you can imagine. But I have to say, you guys got me thinking at the beginning that once upon a time, Robert, you took me to Ricobene's and got me the world's best Italian steak and pepper sandwich.
Right.
And it's a little bit of a stretch, but that stands out in my memory.
That's not a stretch.
That actually sounds really good. I'm going to keep with the same theme, and I'm going to go for some caponata. So a nice little Sicilian dish with eggplant and olives and onion and the agrodolce sauce. So I've been actually working on my Sicilian end of my repertoire in the kitchen, driving my wife crazy with the amount of mess that I'm making. But
So John, you've got to tell us what's in that sauce.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It just simply means sour sweet. So that the people are honking for you. They really love you. So.
I think we pushed our limit.
It's a very simple sauce. You do it while you saute the eggplant. You put an equal portion of vinegar and sugar, and then a little bit of either fresh mint or basil, and either pine nuts or slivered almonds. And it's a reduction sauce. The more you reduce it, of course, the stickier it gets, but it does beautifully with caponata. Also, this little egg roll looking thing, it's eggplant filled with ricotta and fresh mint with the agrodolce over the top. That's tops.
Wow, that sounds delicious.
That sounds fabulous.
So anyway, now that I'm my mouth's watering and I'm starving, I wanna,
Okay, John, I'm gonna back up, and
Yes,
I'm gonna do really what I think is some grilled pork chops, green chili cheese grits,
okay.
sourdough bread with Havarti cheese melted on it.
Jeez.
Well,
That's
now
my
you're getting
go-to.
fancy, Dad.
That's my go-to. Okay.
Well, we had a question. For you, Robert, specifically, said, would it go with Luminati's deep dish in Chicago? And
I think the answer is absolutely. So we actually occasionally the band ends up after this one gig we play. We end up at Lou Malnati's and we get the Lou.
Yep.
And it's wonderful, and it's not something you want to eat every day, but it would be great with this wine.
It's something you could eat every day, but you shouldn't.
Bingo.
I go in here because every so often I get a shipment of Lou Malnati's pizzas from Chicago, and I've got a freezer that loses them very quickly. They're very tasty.
Is that the second freezer that you bought to hold the pizzas?
Exactly. Yes. Thank you. Yes, that's right.
Nice. Well, we did get a couple questions about the wine itself. It is 100% 2015 Dolcetto from the Doble.
Diamante Doble.
Which Doc says, yeah, by the way, that means have you attended tech? Is that correct?
No. Have you seen a sky at night like at Tokyo? That's what it means.
Anyway, it's 100% Dolcetto.
No, John,
Yes,
the
sir.
translation is, what year were you supposed to graduate from Tech?
Oh.
Yeah, amen. I'm supposed to. When I turn 70, hopefully I'll get to do that.
You don't want to rush things.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
Rob,
Tech-
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like a fine wine.
Robert, would you guys be up to doing a third song, and then we'll close right after? Would that be okay?
I'm still checking the PayPal account, but I guess what the heck, we'll do it.
Hey, Robert, can you do Martha White's Flower? A little bit of Martha White's Flower. Oh.
Is that kind of like Freebird?
No, it's not.
No, that's a great Flat and Scruggs.
We're gonna do.
Okay, but we are gonna do a Flat and Scruggs tune here that Jeff's gonna sing. It's called Blue Ridge Cabin Home.
There's a well-beat man on that old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad. And I wandered on to that place we call home, with those Blue Ridge hills far away. Oh, I love those hills of old Virginia. In those Blue Ridge hills I did roam. When I die, won't you bury me on the mountain, far away near my Blue Ridge mountain home. My mind wanders back to that ramshackle shack in those Blue Ridge hills far away. Where my mother and dad were laid there to rest. They'll sleep in peace together there. Oh, I love those hills of old Virginia. In those Blue Ridge hills I did roam. When I die, won't you bury me on the mountain, far away near my Blue Ridge mountain home.
Wait, Steve.
I return to that old mountain home with a smile, and I wonder if days gone by. When I die, won't you bury me on that old mountainside? With my resting place along those hills so high. Oh, I love those hills of old Virginia. In those Blue Ridge hills I did roam. When I die, won't you bury me on the mountain,
was awesome. That was perfect.
Thank you.
So, Jet, any final words of wisdom from you, sir?
Was I muting myself a while ago when I was talking? I can't remember.
Thanks. I appreciate that. That's awesome. So how much longer do we get to, Doc, did you pay the PayPal? Did we get these guys for another hour?
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
So, Doc, Joe, any final words of wisdom?
Yes, we hopefully safely we had opening day of baseball, and I saw I was inspired to see Dr. Fauci throwing out the first pitch at the Nats game. But what I really want to know is what the Chicago crew thinks about how my Cubs are going to do this year.
Oh yeah, guys.
Step up to the mic.
I'm hopeful.
You didn't walk very far for being so hopeful.
Who knows? Rizzo's already got a tight back, and the opening game is tonight against Milwaukee. We'll see how they do, how the pitching does against Christian Yelich, and that's not a small consideration.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, from the band and from Chicago, we're so very happy that you got to join us tonight. Thank you for taking the time out of your day.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's always wonderful. I want you guys to do it again real soon.
I know that. I just want to say one more thing. I know that my roommate from college, who's a primary care physician in Chicago, and my other friend Joe, who's a trauma surgeon in Chicago, and I think they're watching, and just want them to know that we're thinking about them, and we know they're on the front lines, and hope everybody's staying safe.
As are you.
And also,
as are you, Joe. And Richard.
a thought to our son Joe, who's our son Will. Our son Will, our son Will, who has had some fever chills the last couple of days, but has had a much better day today, and we want him to know we're thinking about him. Yeah.
You got it.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us. We wish you all a great weekend, but more importantly, good health and good wine. So enjoy. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys,
Thanks, guys.
I really enjoyed listening to the bluegrass. It's my favorite. Thank you. Cheers.
Jet, we'll come to Tokyo anytime. You let us know, baby.
I'll book you in at the Triple D. You're on.
Done.
Y'all have a good weekend.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.